Hey everyone, how's it going? Elliot here again. In today's video, we are going to be checking something out, which is very cool. This right here is the Watara or Quickshot Supervision. It was a console that was released around the same period of the DMG Game Boy, which was made to compete in that market. Obviously, it didn't work very well because chances are you've probably not heard of this, but you probably heard of the Game Boy. So this thing is huge. It's far bigger than the Game Boy. The screen is like 35% bigger as well. And yeah, it's a pretty big thing. These are the games. They look pretty similar to a Game Boy game in the sense that they've got pins and it's made out of plastic with a little sticker on the front with really bad artwork. Most of the games for the Supervision are basically just rip-offs of the Game Boy games that were made. There was lots of different companies that bought Supervision. As you can see down here, I have a Watara game, but then this Supervision is done by Quickshot. And if I put all of these over to the side, I've got a couple different variations of the Supervision, which honestly, all of these look like different consoles, but they're not. They're all a Supervision. So this is a Travelmate by Watara, but then Watara also did a Supervision. Hartung did a Supervision. Quickshot did a Supervision, but they're all Supervisions and they all play this game right here or any of these cartridges. There was a few other ones as well. I think Videojet did a Supervision. Guys over at Magnum Supervision, that was another one that was released, probably the rarest handheld of all time. It's definitely never going to be something I'll be able to obtain. There's one on eBay right now, which is I think listing for like $15,000, which is a stupid price, with a really rare game called Journey to the West, which is the only RPG game for the Supervision. So what is the point of all of this, I hear you scream? Well, a guy over at a2heaven.com has made something very cool. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably aren't going to care too much about this stuff, but this is something that I have a huge personal passion about. When the parcel arrived, it came with this little postcard, which is from the Ancient Theatre in Plovdiv. I'm not sure where this is. I thought Bulgaria. Okay, so he's from Bulgaria. I saw this on eBay and I thought, damn, this looks really cool. I sent him a message to see if maybe he would be interested in giving me sort of a discount, and then in return I can promote his website. But he said, I'll just send you one. So he sent this to me for free. I haven't been paid for this review or anything like that, but I'm massively thankful because I have a huge personal interest in this stuff. So inside the package then is this little thing in bubble wrap, which we will take a look at in a second, and also a little letter and a tiny little sticker with his logo on there. Now there's a lot of custom stuff over on this website, so if the Supervision isn't something that personally interests you, go and have a look over there and see how cool some of the stuff that he has is. And finally then, this, and now when I open this, it's going to completely give away what this is. I mean, you probably already know from the title, but this is a Supervision multi-cart. Now I saw this and I honestly flipped because getting those games is quite annoying. As I said, they can be quite expensive, and I just want to play this Supervision. I'm more of a hardware collector than a game collector as a general rule, so it's nice to have a flash cart or a multi-cart. So yeah. This shows all of the different functions. 8 megabyte flash ROM, enough to hold 128 64 kilobyte games and programs. Full user flashable, can be programmed with optional programmer and software for Windows. Now I've got the cartridge here, so let's take a quick look at this. You can definitely tell this has been hand done by someone who's passionate, as opposed to a company. It features sort of like 2 bits of acrylic that have been held together with Allen keys, a PCB that he would have had custom printed, and the components inside are sort of covered by this vinyl sticker here, which has Supervision multi-flash cart on it, and I think it looks very nice. Now, to accompany this, which is probably why this thing is quite expensive, is a leather case with the Supervision logo embossed with a little popper thing here. So I think that is a lovely touch. And on his website, and I'd love to get one of these, but they're super expensive, he also has leather cases for the Supervision with the Supervision logo again embossed. But that is the way to display a £55 game. Really, really cool. So let's go ahead and chuck it in the back of here and we'll see what it is like. Now everything you see on here is something that he has done. All of this is coded by him. You can see there a2heaven.com. Turn that down a bit, it's a bit ear piercing. So here we go. I'm not going to show you every single game on here, but as you can see, each one has the artwork down there, and I think it has the title, obviously up here, and then the person, the company who's made it. So you can just scroll down, and it almost seems like an endless list of games. It is just amazing. I'm so excited for this. So I'm going to show you a few games which I find quite interesting. Sunny Express, this one right here, is probably one of the most expensive games for the Supervision. So obviously now I can play that and I don't have to spend the money on that game. But yeah, it goes all the way down. Got different multi-carts in here. It's even got the TV link, which is something that you can plug into. You can plug the Supervision into your TV and play it on the TV. And then you've got some blank slots for user games here. So here we go, this is called Bubble World, and this might look slightly familiar to some of you. This is essentially a Bubble Bobble sort of rip-off, and it is pretty much exactly that. It doesn't get a lot more interesting than that. You've got a certain amount of time to put these guys in little bubbles and capture them and pop the bubbles, basically. Pretty easy. I think they actually have the ability to bubble you up as well. The controls are a little bit lagged, but honestly, this is not the flashcart. I don't know, for those of you who don't know how a flashcart works, essentially there'll be a small chip on the board which has memory in it, and that will have all of the games saved inside. When you select the game, it loads the ROM from that memory onto a more accessible flash, and essentially it's like you actually have the legitimate game plugged into your Supervision. So there's no emulation. It's going to take a little bit of time to load that game, but these things are 64 megabytes, and as you saw before, it loads pretty goddamn quick. Let's try Galactic Crusader. So it loads the game in there, Supervision. I don't even know how he got all of these ROMs. So this is sort of like a, it looks a little bit like Solar Striker type thing. Ooh. That isn't something I could collect. This actually allows me to now properly play the Supervision. Obviously I've got some games, but none of them are great, so it's quite nice to actually play it. Let's try Galaxy Fighter. I'm determined to find a good fighting space game. I'm sure there's definitely going to be some. Oh, this one's by Satchen. Galaxy Fighter. Okay, this is Solar Striker. This is a Solar Striker ripoff. I do like it though. I do think that it's really cool to play something that the Game Boy beat. It's nice to see other things that failed, because imagine in a world where the Game Boy didn't do very well and this actually took over the handheld market in the time. So yeah, really cool. I think this guy has put in some serious work into this. Doesn't seem like a very easy thing to do, to reverse engineer the code from the Supervision in order to get the games to read. I don't even know what was involved. I would love to have interviewed the guy to speak to him to see what work he put into this thing. So to turn the music off and on, it's just B. It's probably quite nice to turn that music off. But a lot of flashcarts actually have music built into them, so it's quite cool that he did that anyway. So this is a game called Popo Team, which just sounds quite interesting. So let's see what this is like. Oh my god. This is like a Megaduck game that I know. Solomon's Treasure. This is like a game for the Megaduck called Solomon's Treasure. It's literally exactly the same. That game sucked on the Megaduck and it sucks on this. So that is going to conclude this video then of the Supervision multi-cart. If you want to check it out, I'll leave the link in the description. Huge thank you to A2Heaven for sending this out to me. As I said, go and check out what they've got. I don't think there's going to be too many of these made, so just go and get one while stocks last. If you have a Supervision, that is. If not, take a look on eBay. If you're going to look for a Supervision, have a look on a worldwide search, because chances are there's probably not many of them where you are. These are more of a prominent thing in the European area. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. Thanks again for sending that out to me. Thanks for the postcard, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.